got a great sponsor. It is My Pillow. You guys know about My Pillow, right? They got pillows. And you want to go to mypillow.com and use promo code TIM. If anybody claims there's some other promo code to use, they're lying. You just got to use Tim. Okay, they're not lying, but use my promo code anyway. So you guys know our friend Mike Lindell. He has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep they ever got. He didn't stop by simply creating the best pillow. Mike created the best bed sheets ever. They look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep for me, which is crucial for my busy schedule. You know, I got to be honest, sleep has been key, no joke, into improving everything. Mike is offering the best deal on his Giza Dream bed sheets. Any size, any color, just $49.98. That's right. You can even get queens, kings, split kings, and cow kings. Any size and any color, just $49.98. Order now because when they're gone, they're gone. And for a limited time, when your order is over $100, you'll receive $100 in free digital gifts. Call 1-800-925-9096. Use the promo code TIM or go to mypillow.com. And make sure you use promo code TIM for that amazing offer. $49.98 on the Giza Dream Sheets, any size and any color. In fact, I do use a MyPillow every night. Seriously do. And we have, I think, 100 left just downstairs. And we actually give them out. Because we bought 300 of them to make a pillow pit to jump into. It's a whole story. But shout out to MyPillow. Thanks for sponsoring the show, Mike. Big fan. You're a good dude. From the Wall Street Journal, Trump privately approved of attack plans for Iran, but has withheld the final order. The president is hoping that threatening to join Israel's strikes will lead Tehran to abandon its nuclear program. They say, since his private instructions in the White House Situation Room to the military, Trump has disclosed publicly that an attack is an option. Quote, I have ideas on what to do, but I haven't made a final. I'd like to make the final decision 1 second before it's due, he told reporters. Very Trumpian. Trump is hoping that threatening to join Israel's strikes in Iran, which continued for a 6th day, will compel Tehran to meet his demands. The People said he acknowledged that a U.S. attack was under consideration, but said he still might decide against it. Well, we do have this. Trump says he may meet with Iran at the White House. This is amazing. We actually have a clip. Let's roll the tape.
Look, they should have made the deal. I had a great deal for them. They should have made that deal. 60 days, we talked about it, and in the end, they decided not to do it, and now they wish they did it. And they want to meet, but it's a little late to meet, but they want to meet, and they want to come to the White House. They'll even come to the White House. So we'll see. I may do that, but it's a shame it could have been done the easy way. Look,
could have been done the easy way. Well, I certainly would prefer that. But what do you think, Mike? Do you think the Iran's going to come to the table, actually negotiate something legitimate, or do you think we go to war?
I think they're in really bad shape. I think they're only now starting to understand how bad everything is. Israel's in total control of the skies of Tehran. I think this is something they couldn't have imagined. Today, completely blue skies, and Israel was bombing in the daylight. Wow. Iran hasn't shot down a single drone or a single jet of the Israelis, as far as I know. Just amazing. Do
you think there's a possibility that Iran may bring in some allies?
I don't think so. I don't know who would do it. Who could do it? There's nobody. There's the only power in the area that could cause Israel significant trouble is Turkey, and it's not inclined to. I mean, Israel has an unimpeded air bridge from Israel across Syria into Iran. If the Turks wanted to cause trouble, they could. They don't want to do that. Nobody is upset about what Israel's doing. They don't want to participate in it, but everyone wants to see Iran's nuclear program destroyed.
There was a story earlier about Russia giving some kind of warning, but the warning was actually just fears of destabilizing the region. All these different news outlets are trying to make it seem like Putin was saying, Trump, I'm going to come for you and join Iran. He was actually saying, oh, man, if Iran falls, that could destabilize the region. It wasn't even Putin. It was a foreign minister, an advisor, I guess. And so it really just sounds like they're all kind of saying, yeah, Iran, you're on your own on this one. We don't want to get involved.
I know for a fact that Khamenei called Putin after Trump was elected. And because in October, the Israelis knocked out all of the air defenses of the Iranians. And they were, at that point, totally naked before the Israelis. And Khamenei called Putin and said, he didn't ask, he ordered him. He said, when you were in trouble, I came to help for you. You must come and help me now. And Putin said, niet. So this is Putin has been keeping a certain amount of distance from Iran since Trump was elected.
A lot of people that one of the strongest arguments about against going to for the U.S. getting involved in anything going on with Iran is that there would be a rush to support Iran from not just Russia but also China. Neither of them seem to be doing anything. Do you think that changes the equation regarding China and Taiwan as well, or do you think that these are too different to make comparisons?
It's really to me, it's a huge question, a hugely important question. How is China going to read the implications of the Iran war for its relations with us over Taiwan? And I don't know that I have a good sense of that. I think that Trump taking his whole point about peace through strength, I think the stronger he is, the more decisive he is, the more he'll be able to deter Xi Jinping. But how Xi Jinping is reading it, it's not clear to me. One little small thing that's interesting about China and Iran. The Israelis, we say that their goal is to destroy the Iranian nuclear program, but it's not exactly true. They have two goals: destroy the nuclear program and also destroy the ballistic missile program. And the reason for that is that last October, when the Iranians struck the Israelis, what they did is they saturated one level of the Israeli air defense with these medium-range ballistic missiles. They got through and hit the Nevatim air bases, which is where the Israelis have the F-35, and it really rattled the Israelis. So they responded by taking out the part of the production supply chain, the production chain of the Iranians for these ballistic missiles. They destroyed these mixers for making the solid fuel propellant. And the Israelis calculated at that time that they had set the production of the ballistic missiles back or stopped the production for at least a year. But what happened was the Chinese moved in and gave the Iranians new equipment, and then the Iranians started a plan to double or triple their supply of these weapons, or their arsenal of these weapons, within the next 5 years. And if they got that kind of arsenal, from the Israeli point of view, that would be the equivalent of an atomic bomb, even though it's a conventional weapon, because of the firepower it would have. So there's kind of two things that are pushing the Israelis forward, and one of them is this. One of them is the fact that China is helping Iran, but from not in a direct way. I don't think they'll intervene directly militarily, but they'll be there to try to help Iran rebuild. They'll
violate U.S. sanctions, right? Because that's what they're doing on these with that, or are there no sanctions on the parts that Iran would need to?
They do it. They do it through companies. So it's they will violate sanctions, but they'll also play fast and loose. And it's a kind of a sort of a whack-a-mole game of trying to find which part of China you're going to, which entity in China you're going to go after in order to prevent this from happening.
Does this hurt Trump's credibility? I notice he gives himself an out at the end of his speech there, where he says, or I might not do it at all, basically, which is like, look, I could do this. I could end up doing all these things, but I might not. That way it doesn't look bad if the time runs out on the arbitrary timeline he gave Iran, and then they don't come to the table, and then him not acting ends up making him look weak, which is why he gives himself that out there. Or do you think it'll be perceived as weakness by the rest of the world? If the time runs out, nobody comes to the table and the U.S. doesn't get involved.
We don't know we don't know what the negotiation. There's clearly a negotiation going on. The Iranians are sending messages. He's not totally happy with them, so he's trying to move them, but we don't know what it is. So I think it gives him options. Yeah. He always likes that, to keep options open.
That's to say,
I don't see it's a bad thing.
It felt like the type of thing where, like, if he doesn't make that statement at the end there, then it's going to be perceived a certain way. So the messaging was designed to give him that out.
It kind of feels like, based on the news about, as you're describing, Israel's just bombarding Iran. Iran's not blocking any of it. They've got no defenses for this. And Israel's heavily defended. It looks like Iran's already been crushed.
I wouldn't go that far. Because there's another article in the Wall Street Journal about the magazine of the Israelis, their interceptors running out, because the interceptors to shoot down the ballistic missiles are much more expensive than the missiles themselves, because you have to. You have to build a much more sophisticated missile to hit a missile than the one coming in, and then sometimes it takes 2 or 3 to do it. So the Israelis are running up against the clock, and the Iranians are running a marathon.
Interesting.
And the Israelis are sprinting, which is one of the
Yikes.
reasons why I think Trump might actually bomb Iran.
Wow. I mean, yeah, I hadn't considered that, and it sounds like that's what's going to happen.
I'd be willing to bet on it.
Iran's basically saying we're going to wait until Israel's defenses are run out and then go full bore. Just
well, I think what they would do is they would, if they could, but because it's a kind of a race. I think they would like to demonstrate that they're not going to be toppled, and wait until they can see that Israel is having trouble with interceptors, and then producing interceptors, and then start a serious negotiation with Trump. If they could hold out that long, and then Trump would that would give Trump leverage over Israel to shut the thing down if he were so inclined. Like their only way out is to have the United States protect them from Israel, or to have Israel run through its magazine.
and so you think the most likely outcome then will be Trump will order a strike on Iran?
I think he probably will. It depends, unless they come with basically he said to the. I mean, we have to think about probabilities. So right. I know that not one thing or another. I think the highest probability is that Trump will bomb Fordo, the fortified facility under the mountain, because that's all the Israelis want from the Americans. Right. In terms of American intervention, busters. They want the bunker busters and the B-2 bombers. So they want that operation. And Trump is going to look at this and see, unless the Iranians are coming and capitulating and saying, we will destroy our nuclear program, we will destroy all the underground facilities, we'll do it under IAEA and supervision and so forth. Unless they say that, then they're just playing for time. And he's going to see that the closer the Israelis get to running through their magazine, the more they're going to be inclined to take extreme measures to put pressure on the Iranians. And he'll see it as the least worst option will be to just destroy the program, and then we're done.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.